He cares about the fans. It's not fake. I recall myself and Chick Hernandez at the beginning of this season in where was it? Cleveland when we had the first preseason game, right, Andrew? And it was raining outside. And I had heard little tidbits about Josh is going to be sitting out there with the fans. And I'm like, it's drizzling right now. And if he had changed his mind, I can understand that. But then I look out there and he's right there amongst the fans sitting with them. And after the game, I went to him and I said, man, that's going to go a long way. Because you basically put yourself, you basically, like I was told by my coach, you have to lower yourself and people will elevate you. You lower yourself to make people say, you make them understand that you don't think you're better than them. And I think a lot of people took that situation and they really, really began to look at it in a different light. And then every game, if someone wanted to take a picture, he'll take a picture. He's jumping the high five, I'm not saying he had to jump the high five, but he's jumping up the high five people that are in the stands and things like that. And you can just see he's a real dude. And I'm going to read this letter. And this is a letter he sent out to the fans. Landfill, don't be laughing. I got to put my glasses on. I got to see this. All right. This is from Josh Harris to the Commander fans. He said, Dear Commander fans, this season marked the beginning of bringing Washington football back to its status as a premier franchise in the NFL and restoring the significance, pride, sense of community that this team has represented for decades. Growing up in Chevy Chase, I remember Sundays when the entire DMV came together in support. Those memories shaped my vision for this franchise, and I will continue to strive tirelessly to build a team that unites and inspires for years to come. When we became stewards of this franchise 2 summers ago, our mission was clear: to win on the football field and in the community by creating a culture of excellence, attracting the best talent, and investing deeply in our team. I could not be prouder of our front office and coaching staff led by Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, who have set the tone for this franchise and laid the foundation for success. And starting next week, Mark Klaus will officially join the organization. Mark brings decades of experience as an exceptional business leader and will focus on creating amazing fan experiences and ensuring our team delivers for the communities we are so fortunate to serve. Of course, none of this would be possible without the incredible efforts of our players, whose hard work, grit, and brotherhood define this season. A special thank you to Jaden Daniels, who made history and shattered records. And thank you to our additional postseason captains, Zach Ertz, Terry McLaurin, Jeremy Reeves, and Bobby Wagner, along with the rest of the players. Everyone stepped up and contributed to deliver a 12-5 regular season and a thrilling playoff run. This season was a tremendous reminder that the Commanders can galvanize not just a fan base, but an entire community. I saw that on the road myself. Our mission to build an elite franchise and create unforgettable experiences begins and ends with you, the fans. Your unwavering support has meant everything. Week after week, through highs, lows, and unforgettable moments that Hail Mary in Week 8, you showed up. We're building this for you, and we won't stop until we have a championship. Thank you for being on this journey with us. With sincere gratitude and excitement for what's ahead, Josh Harris. Listen, man, he probably didn't have to, but I think he felt obligated to, because when he talks about the support and how fans showed up, every week JP and I came back here, we talked about the fans on the road. I went to places this year where I did not expect to see a lot of fans, and I saw them. I have friends all over this country, and I began to hear people were starting to hit me from California, Vegas, all over this country where they have Commanders bars, okay? Like, we always see all these other bars in our location, in our locale, but as I began to talk to a lot of my friends, they're like, I'm going to go over here, because they wanted to see, because I was so excited about it, they wanted to find out, is there a place around this town we can go? And there was places, and 2 of them that they kept hitting me from. I have 2 people hitting me from California and Vegas. Huge following. And it woke up a lot of people around this country. And as I said many a time, there were a lot of people saying, well, I'm done, I'm not coming back. A lot of people have come back, don't want to admit it. But let's just remember, those players out there are fighting. And there are players on the team now that I see will bring a lot of people back, because Jaden Daniels' jersey is the #1 selling jersey out there. And to say that no fans are back and nobody is following the team, and hell, somebody's following it. Is it other team fans buying it? I doubt it. I believe this team and what Josh just stated, this is the beginning of what's to come. And I believe they have all the right people in place. You know, I've had conversation with Adam Peters. I've talked to Dan Quinn. I'm impressed. You know, I have been around a lot of coaches. I've been around a lot of GMs. I've been around a lot of players. And rarely do I talk to a front office person, coaches, and players from the same team that all of them think very much alike. It's not hard, but you got to put some time into it. They are bringing people in here that sees the vision of their leadership. Adam first, then Dan, and then all the veterans on this team, the leaders on this team. When you hear Terry McLaurin talk, and you hear Bobby Wagner talk, and you hear Jaden, the young buck, talk, even Mikey Sarah still, those guys are talking about you have to be a commander, have to live the commander way. And we can say that, and I'm sure there are people in other cities that said about their team, you know, the Eagles and the Chiefs and all that type of stuff. You know what it means? It means someone who comes in here who's going to work their ass off for the common goal of what this team is trying to get. It's going to mean the people that's going to sacrifice during the season to make sure they can get to where they can go. When the season started, I'm going to be honest. And I'm sure if everybody else is honest, probably 99.9% of the people would be saying what I'm saying. I didn't think that they could make it to the NFC Championship game. But as the season went on, they began to pull me that way. Because I saw a togetherness, a brotherhood, and people willing to work and sacrifice to get where they had to go. And when you have everybody to a man doing that, that is possible. Because it doesn't come down to, like, people always talk about how talented a team is. If your team is talented, but they don't have a work ethic, if your team is talented and they don't have dedication, it ain't happening. So people try to knock Washington from the 87 Super Bowl, I think it was, when they made it to the Super Bowl. They won the championship and all that stuff. They had a lot of scab players playing at first. They had a lot of teams. Dallas, they crossed the picket line. They had the majority of their damn team, all the talented guys. Washington had a bunch of scab players. But who they had leading them? Joe Gibbs. And I know that's a man that knows how to galvanize people. And he had all those guys believing in themselves, and they beat Dallas. And they positioned that team, and then when everybody came back across the picket line, they rolled in. What did they do? Won the championship. And people try to downplay that, but you know what? That may be one of the best jobs he's ever done. He went against guys that had their NFL players, and you had guys that were some of them, and this is no farce. Some guys came out of jail. Some guys had never made it to the NFL, but they got picked up when they had the scabs, and they beat the professional teams because they worked. They believed in themselves. They believed in each other, and they believed in the man that was leading them. I am a person where if you are going to be the person I'm going to follow, you have to make sure I know that you believe in me. So everything I do, I look at people ahead of me. I look at my dad. My dad was like, he was tough, but he also let you know how much he thought of you. And hell, whether he was blowing smoke or just talking, he got me to believe I could do any damn thing in the world. Told me at 10 years old, I'm a Mitch, I could do anything. And I watched Dan Quinn when he talks about guys and how he go one-on-one with them and let them know that he believes in them. And then I watched the same person go the next week and ball the hell out. We need to have that type of thing. And I think what Dan has done, what Josh is doing now, what Adam has done, this is the beginning. And as he said, they do it for us. And we need to go out there and we need to help them out and cheer as much as we can and be as dedicated to the team as we can be. And it's going to work because I think we want a winner. And I believe we're going to get a winner. And I believe the guys on this football team, they are winners already. And then they're going to be even bigger winners because I understand you play. People think if you don't make the Super Bowl, you didn't have success. But when you start a season in Vegas, who's very good at their numbers, they say, we expect you to win 6.5 games. They blew past that in the first half of the season. Okay? And then they carried on and win 12. Then they win the playoffs and won 2 more. That is a successful season. And the way sports are set up is life, we always say if you're not winning, you're losing. No. Sometimes you can still, we always say you learn the most from failures than you do from success. Because when you're successful, you become complacent. You relax. When you fail, you're looking to learn a little bit more. You want to prove people wrong, so you start working a little harder. So I believe this football team were winners last year. They didn't get where they wanted to go, but they got a lot farther than everybody else thought they can get. Because when I talked to guys in that locker room, they felt they could do some things. And that's how it starts. But like Adam Peters stated, everybody at the end of the season go back to zero. We got one more game. We got a week and about 2 days, 3 days left in this season. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, although they'll be Kansas City Chiefs or the Eagles, whoever wins it, they will go back to zero because what they did prior is not going to dictate nothing about what's going to come up the next year or so.